As a 3-year-old in Slaterville, Utah, Alvin Cobabe first had thoughts of growing up to be a doctor.
When my younger sister, Eugenia, was born, old doctor that would stand back of the pot-bellied stove there, I went over to him, and he had a little gold chain across his black vest, and he's twiddling around like this. And he patted me on the head and says, "We brought you a nice baby sister." And I looked up at him, and I says, "I don't want a baby sister, I want a baby brother. You can take her back and get me a baby brother." And I thought to myself right then, I'm going to be a doctor, and I'm going to do better than he does.
In 1928, Alvin's father bought a ranch in Ogden Valley.
At 10, 12 years old, I started out when I was 12, pretty near full-time doing a man's work. And you know, they'd have put my dad in jail now, but I loved every minute of it.
As a teenager, Alvin stopped by the home of classmate June Heslop to ask her to go to a movie.
And her father was there, and I told them that I'd like to take June on a date. And they said, "Well, she's got to be around here someplace. We'll see if we can find her." And she did. They went out there and hunted and hunted and hunted. And finally, they looked in the chicken coop, and there she was in the chicken coop. And she was a-hiding from me, but she claims it wasn't from me.
June went to that movie, and many more with Alvin. While on a picnic at the family property in Eden, Utah, Alvin asked June to go for a walk.
We walked up about halfway to the forks of the canyon up there, and we sat down by the side of the creek to just listen to the water and rest a little bit, you know. And when we got up, I felt impressed to ask her to marry me. And she looked down with her head over to one side like this, and then she moved over to the other and looked down at the ground, and she went back and forth like that for about 3 or 4 times, and I thought she was going to shake her head no, or was shaking her head no. And finally she looked up and she said, "Yes, I'll marry you, but not until after your birthday, because I don't want to marry any teenage kid."
After working as an electrical engineer at KLO Radio in Ogden, Alvin returned to the ranch to help his father.
I was working in the spring of the year, and I had hay fever awfully bad, and they didn't have any treatment for it then. And I was up on the corner of the fence, a fixing fence, and my eyes was running, my nose was running, and they told me that I needed to get out of it because I had such bad allergies and do something different. And I decided I'm going back to see if I can be an MD.
In 1955, at the age of 38, Alvin enrolled at Weber College.
Most of my teachers I had there were very good, and I loved nearly all of them. They were just great with me, and they treated me fine, and I had a great time of going to Weber.
After graduating from Weber, Alvin attended medical school at the University of Utah, becoming a physician at the age of 46.
I still doing a little practice of medicine, and that's been over 50 years ago, so more than half of my life I've been an MD. I loved taking care of people. I could not understand why they would pay you for doing something that was so much fun. I just loved taking care of people.
While on a horseback ride with friends on family property, Alvin made an inspired decision.
Byron Nesbitt hollered over at me, and he says, "Hey, Cobabe, why don't you build a ski resort?" Well, I was going to start med school on the 1st of September, and building a ski resort was the last thing in my mind. I had no idea, and I'd been out in the cold and the weather and things and rain, and delivered calves and lambs out on the hillside, and now I was going to go to school and deliver babies in the hospital, and that's what I wanted to do. It was not not build a ski resort. But at that time when they said that, the word come to me, somebody said 2 words, build it. And it was so strong I couldn't ignore it.
Powder Mountain Ski Resort has since grown into a major ski destination. In 2008, Alvin was inducted into the Intermountain Ski Hall of Fame for his contributions to the sport. Alvin has continued to support Weber State University as a member of the President's Club.
I've always had a soft spot for Weber and things, and when I started building Powder Mountain up here, they were interested in getting a place for a telescope, and I gave them 3 acres.
The Weber State Alumni Association is pleased to honor Alvin Cobabe with the 2012 Emeriti Lifetime Achievement Award.